Good morning and welcome to the craft room. It's such a beautiful day outside, although it could get a little hot for some. But I'm really looking forward to today and enjoying the start of summer, even though we're still in spring. I'm going to do something a little bit different today. I'm jumping away from Christmas for a break. We've had a huge run of Christmas and we've ended with our Christmas function last Sunday. I will get back into Christmas in a couple of weeks, but I just wanted to show you a couple of new things that have come up and been released by Stamping Up that I haven't had a chance to highlight. So today we're going to look at a fun and something a little bit different, a stamp set or a suite called Otterly Amazing. And this is available on the online exclusives. That's what it's called, online exclusives. So it's something that you can grab yourself. Feel free to contact me if you're interested. I'll help you get this set, this suite. You can buy bits of it or you can buy the whole lot. So let's jump down onto the desk and have a look at this fun little stamping set. So let's do what we normally do. We turn around, see the roof, go down here, and I try and get this so we got a fair bit. Oh, I'm way over today. I haven't got myself set up. I did it in a hurry this morning. We had a bit of a sleep in this morning. So, oh gosh, what a mess I'm making of this, but we'll get it right. That's not too bad. You can see my wipes container. For those that wonder, I keep wipes in the old-fashioned cube that I got with when Bella was a baby. Okay, let's have a look at this suite. We've got a stamp set and dies. And they are gorgeous. Look at this. Otterly Amazing. Aren't they cute little otters? Cuddling up together, lots of love. We're cute together. You're utterly amazing. There's little fishes. You can cut out little fishes. You can cut out each of the pictures. You can cut out big fishes, rocks, reeds, even bubble holes. So we're going to have a look at it all. I think every image can be cut out and they've got a few other bits like the logs and that. And even you can make some water or land or with this piece. But let's have a look at what else comes in the suite. We also have the Otterly Adorable Designer Series paper. So it starts with a sheet like this. And then we have this cutie. Lots of cute stuff and lovely reeds and or seaweed and fishes. Then this is just, you could almost frame this as itself and just add a few pieces on. It's so gorgeous. It'll make it a nice scrapbook page too. And there's some rocks at the back. And just again, another piece that you could use in anything as a background piece. Some cute swimming otters. I love this with Mum with her baby. Don't know if you can see that one, but Mum with her baby here and swimming together. There he is again. And on the back is just some water. We have these otters cuddling, playing together. And on the back is just a muted shade piece, great for backgrounds. And this last piece, I've already cut into it, and I will be cutting into it more, because on the back is this lovely, lovely pool party. So a greeny, blue, watery piece too. And so we will keep that at the ready. And let me move all this paper to the side because we want to start our card. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut this to be, oh, where's my cutting machine? I've had someone in here, my Bella, helping tidy up, and she has put things in the most unusual positions. Oh, here it is, way over here by the computer. she thought she was helping. Well, she did help quite a lot, and was fabulous last weekend helping. But sometimes she puts things away where I can't find them. Oh no, I never checked we are going live in the right place. That's perhaps a good thing to check before I keep going. Yes, we are. So let's keep going. Here is, I'm just going to do a basic white card front. So, and we'll just fold that over. I'll do it up here. Just fold over, put the points into the corner, and you get a perfectly even card. Now I want a nice piece of water, and it has to go this way because I'm doing a landscape card. Actually, I might be able to use this side of it. If I line that up on 10, even though there's a little piece cut out there. I think someone's been at my paper also. So there's my piece of paper. Now we'll just put this, I'll put this away out of the road. So that's the base, and it's water. But we're going to do a few things to build up onto that. And I'm going to get a stamp mat. Here's one. We'll use this side. So we'll pop that there. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp this image because I think that's so, so cute. So let's grab that image and some basic black ink. And I'm going to colour the image. Oh, I never showed you what else comes in the sweat, did I? This string or twine. It's in Lost Lagoon colour. If I put it on the white piece, you'll be able to see it. It's very silky. Very, very silky and soft. And these gorgeous, gorgeous, now what are they calling them? Riverside Irregular Pearls. And they're in 3 different colours. I would say that's white. That could be granite grey maybe. And is that Lost Lagoon? I think so. I'm just guessing though. But they're the colours that are in this suite. So let's get our otters stamped. In the middle. And I'll put that over there to be cleaned later. Now, I had a little play on how to colour the otters. So I've got my blends, and these are pecan pie, and this is granite grey. And that's the light granite grey and the light and dark pecan pie. So first, this brush end isn't working too good, so I'm going to colour this otter all over. Well, not all over, but over most of him, in the light pecan pie. Use this colour a lot, obviously. It's running a bit low. I hope you took advantage of the sales. I should have bought another set of pecan pie blends in them. Now I'm going to leave his tummy. And up round his head. Now I'm going to go back over that with the darker one. Oh, I might use the brush end. I prefer the brush end. So I'm just going to darken him up around the tail a bit. That leg's going to be quite a bit darker. A bit under there. And around the head, top of the head. And then I'm going to bring in the granite grey and do some of his belly. And we'll just then go back to our lighter pecan pie, and I'm just going around the edges of those darker bits to blend it in with the lighter, and the same with the granite grey. So as that dries, it should all blend in nicely. And we should have light and dark on our otter. And we'll do the same over here. Well, we'll keep that off. So we'll start with his head and a bit down the back here. And this arm. I suppose it's a bit like an arm. Front legs. We'll just go around here. This is drying out, but we'll make it work. Let me just... I'll try not to get my hand in the road so you can see how we're blending the colours together. So we'll put the grey in. We're going to put the grey in here and on the belly. And then the darker bits. Around the otter's tail and back. The paw. And around the top of the head. And down there it'd be in shade, so from the other otter. So we'll just do that. We might just go take this back right down to here. And then we'll just go back over again. With the lighter pecan pie, and where the colours meet, we'll just blend it up, blend them together. So that as it dries, you sort of then can't see where one colour ends and the next one begins. Okay, so that gives you your colours of your otter. And it's not too hard. Stamping up got the lines there. You just basically follow where there'll be dark and shade. Now we're going to put some colour into the weeds, and I'm just using Lost Lagoon. And I'm just quickly using the Stampin' Right markers for this. I'm not actually blending anything on these, I'm just colouring. They are rather cute otters though. Right, we'll make that. We'll do the same over this side. I'll turn it upside down so that you can see when my hand's not over the picture. And then for the reeds, I'm just going to use Old Olive for the reeds. Again, that's another colour in this suite. And we'll go back to this side now. And if in doubt, when you're working with a suite, you can just copy the colours that are in the suite, like I'm doing, and it'll work out perfectly. So we're going to cut that piece out, and we have this lovely die to do so. But I want a few other pieces for the front. I want a number of reeds, so I want to cut out a number of those, and I'm going to use, what have we got? I've got scraps here of paper, and I'm going to probably need, a bit short. I want to use up my scraps, so we'll grab those. I should be able to cut enough out of that. I want some darker reeds at the front, so these are those ones. So I'm not really doing much more stamping and colouring. I'm just going to cut out what I need because Stampin' Up! Have provided them. We will have a big log, so we'll get that out too. And I will use another colour from the suite, which is Early Espresso. So I've got Garden Green, Lost Lagoon and Early Espresso, and I think I'll have some rocks. So we will get those over, and we will use granite grey for the rocks. So I'm just, again, picking colours out of the suite and using them. So where's a piece of granite grey that I can use? Oh, here's a little piece. So we'll bring the cut and emboss machine in and we'll get going. Oh, I also want to cut out a piece of this, that's this shape. And you'll see what we'll do with that shortly. So we'll get the colours all out of the road and we'll bring the cut and emboss machine in. We might have to bring her in a little bit more. Are we in? Yes, I think we're mainly in. So let's start working out what we're cutting. First of all, I'm going to cut this. Oh, there you go, you're swinging around. That's what happens when you knock your camera. We're going to cut this one out, and I'm just going to stand up and line it up because you want to make it sit right, so you're getting it perfect. There we go. Now, we need to cut out quite a few of these pieces of fernery, or weed, I should say, pieces of weed, seaweed. We'll have a set of these too. Now, we might just put that much through because I don't want to upset my otter picture. I want it to sit still. So, and look, we've got, that's what happens sometimes. If you lap them too close, they knock into each other. That might be better. Let's now just get this straight down. Oh, the otters have moved again. I think that's all right. Let's try that. I'll have to hold it. Okay, so the otters have worked perfectly. That's a relief. Pop them over there. We have one lot of seaweed. She has done such a good job at cleaning up. Half my things are missing, so instead of my pick, I will use the tip of my scissors to get these out. Now, we're going to need some more seaweed. So, again, it's just using the guide holes to push them out. And the same, one's already out. This little green piece. We've got one little green piece. And the other one's still in here, so let's push him out too. Now, what else do we need? Well, we'll have some more green. I need some more seaweed. I need a few rocks, so we'll put the rocks on. And I need a log. So we'll cut that round out, that group. There's my log. It won't come up. Oh, come on. There's my log. Some more bits of seaweed. Those are the dark green ones. Some rocks. Again, we've got to push them out. This rock. And the seaweed. Let's put them all over here. And of course, I'm not finished yet. Because we need lots of seaweed. I'm going for a couple more pieces. We'll have one there. And I'll just cut a piece off here. And I wanted this piece. So we'll do that. It's probably better I do that one this way. It's often easier to get your stamps or your die, through the cut and emboss machine if you lay them long ways rather than across. So we'll just get these through. So now I have this piece, a couple more pieces of seaweed, which we'll put with our pile. And I'm going to do one more thing. We'll put this back this way so, well, we can do it from this side. I'm going to cut the fish, if you can see that die, out of this. And you'll see how that works in a minute. I think this is rather cute. And you could do it with bubbles too, the bubble die too, but I looked at, oh, wrong way, Ellie. I'm going backwards this time. I looked at doing the bubbles, but I decided against them. Now we're going to pull that up. So there's all our little fishes. And there they are, stuck to the board there. Now you could use those little fishes. You could cut them out in colours and they'd make a fun shaker card. I'm just going to leave them there and I'm going to gather them up later. what I do with them yet. I haven't decided, but maybe I will do a shaker card. There's one that's floating away there. We'll put him up there. So now I've got this little piece with fish on it. So it's now time we start assembling this card. And the first thing I'm going to do is I want to put a bit of colour into each of these pieces so that it all blends together. So let's start with the rocks. I'm using the same colour, the granite grey, on the rocks. And I'm thinking at the bottom of the rocks would be a darker colour than the top. So now this is going to get a little bit messy because I'm going to end up with ink all over my fingers. But I'm just sponging the bottom of the rocks, and then it's giving a softer look as it goes up. And it's showing the shading at the bottom. So that's going to give it some shadowing or shading around the bottom of each of my rocks. And this will help it look more like a real picture than just flat pieces of paper stuck together. And it's as simple as that for the rocks. For the seaweed, all these little pieces. Again, I'm using, they're cut in Lost Lagoon, and I'm going to use Lost Lagoon. I'm just going to sponge a bit around it, not necessarily wanting it to be perfect, and a bit onto the top. And it's giving it a very, if I put it on the back, on this, hopefully you can see, it's giving it quite a mottled look. It's perhaps a bit hard to see, but it is quite mottly. So it's not flat cardstock. And we'll just quickly do all these pieces. Oh, upside down. You can feel what's up in the right way and what's upside down because there's a bit of an edge at the back. So I'm not fussing what it looks like, I'm just trying to add a bit more colour so it's not just a flat colour. And you can see my fingers are getting quite coloured. But they're the perks of doing things like this. Now, I'll put those aside. I need this, oh no, I need this one first. So I'm going to do the same with these 4 little dark green ones. Or not granny apple, that's a lighter green. Garden green this is, if you're wanting the correct colours. We'll just dab them as well. Now, one of my stamp sets is over the other side, I can see. So I'm going to go grab. Now we'll pop all these up here in out of the road. Board's a bit of a mess, but I'll just grab the Early Espresso to do the log. Now, I keep a sponge for each of my colours, and I keep them in a little container. Underneath it says which colour is under there, and I just put a little tab of colour on the top and put right at the name so that I don't have to wash them out. You don't have to have a sponge for each. Now, these were just circle sponges that I Stamping Up used to have, and I've just cut them into quarters. But if you don't have a sponge for each, don't stress, you can wash them out after you've used them, which is how I started. Because I certainly didn't have everything when I started. I'd like to think I've got everything now, but I haven't. So again, that's just giving it a bit darker down the bottom. So it gives a bit more of a real look with a shadowy line along the bottom. So let's clean up my fingers a bit. Oh, that's just my fingers. As I said, well, if you didn't want to get dirty fingers, you could throw a glove on, couldn't you? But I think it's a part of crafting is to get a bit messy. So that's got that cleaned up. Now, last but never least, if I can find the sponge for it, here it is, we're going to do our fish. Now, I'm doing a pool party to match with this colour, which is pool party. And I'm going to go all the way around the edge, like we often do when we're sponging a piece. But I want to bring the colour further in on the top where the fish are. So it's not completely white all the way down. And so again, I'm just rubbing the sponge across. I could use a blender brush, but this is another alternative. So that's just giving me a bit of colour. Around my fish. And I might just put a little bit more on the edges. And you'll see how that's going to, why we're doing this in a minute. Now, we're just about ready to assemble the front of the card. I need one more colour, and I'm going to use, I think that'll be big enough, yes. This is pecan pie, one of my favourites. And I'm going to put this behind here so it colours my fish. So I'm cut the corners. I'm not being fussy, I'm not checking, I'm just doing it so that this will fit in behind, because I only need to make sure it doesn't show on the edges, but it colours the fish in. So we'll just put some glue on that. And the easiest way is just a little bit, come on, glue. You've got a seal out. That sometimes happens if you get a bit of dry glue on the outside, and it seals over the hole. And then it bursts out like that with much more than you need. And one of the things you can do then, I'll just tap a bit off, because we don't want glue flying everywhere. So that's now glued onto the back of there. There's a bit of glue there. And so now we have the darker fish in the water. Now let's start assembling. So we're going to put our fishies up about here. But I want reeds all around them. And I definitely want some of these taller reeds at the back. So I'm going to work out that one's going to go about there. So let's put a... Now I could have cut these out with adhesive sheets behind it, but I'm quite happy just to do tiny dots of glue. Could also use the fine tip glue as well, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. So there's lots of alternatives if you're not au fait or not great with your glue. It does take a while to get used to this glue sometimes on how to control how much you get up. But you just want a few tiny, tiny dots, so it's just gentle squeeze. And that's then going to go on this side. Hop off so I can see what I'm doing. In fact, that's a bit longer, so we could make him curl right over, couldn't we? Like that. Because seaweed isn't necessarily straight. So let's glue this on, a bit on the white, just to make sure it's going to stick all together. And that's going to go about, I'll make sure I get it up high enough. About there. Now, I want to put a few more bits of weed. I've got 3 for each side because 3 is always the number we work with. Don't know. It's supposed to be artistically sound, the whole concept, but, well, I can't explain it. Must be pleasing to the eye, I guess. A couple more dots of glue there. I'll have another one here. Yeah, we'll shove him in there on the edge. So I'm just surrounding our fish now with reeds. Or weeds, seaweed. And then one out here on this side. Oh, didn't we stick him? All right, we'll stick him in a minute. Let's put this one. And I'm going to make this one curl this way. They're just swaying in the water. You can come up there like that. Now we're going to pop our log on here. About there, I'd say. Just a bit of glue behind him. I'm going to pop this big stone down this end. It's sort of covering up all our seaweed bits there. And I'm going to pop another piece of seaweed on top. Actually, I might just pop him so he's just coming out the side here. No, he's going to come out from the bottom of the stone. My stone's moved. That's the best thing about, well, it causes it to move sometimes, but wiggly glue, wiggle room glue gives you a chance to move things around. Now I'm going to put my otters on with my dimensionals, which I had. I did have some here. Maybe they're under here. Bit of a mess over this side now. I have to get Bella to come back and help me clean up. No, they're not here. Are they over this side, under all this pile? Oh, come on, I did have some. Don't you hate it when you can't find what you're looking for? I do this often when I'm crafting, even if it's cleaned up. Cleaned up the craft room the other day. I can't see them, so I'm going to use the minis, which are a bit of a problem, but we will grab a pack of minis, a sheet of minis. I can use the outsides. We'll use these large outside pieces. That will work just as good. Oh, it was stuck to the top of my finger. Let's get him in a better spot. And we'll throw one in there for good luck. I'll just use the... Now my otters are going to sit here underneath the fish. So now I can see where to put the rest of my rocks. We'll put a couple here. I might put a bit of greenery in. I'll just pop this one in behind. We'll just slide. See, we've still got a little bit of wiggle room there, so that bit could go up there. We could put one rock here. I'm going to put this bit of greenery up here. And we'll put this rock on top. And I could have put these rocks on with dimensionals, but I'm quite happy that they're just sort of in the background a bit. And then my last little piece of weed can go here. So there's my lovely scene. Let's glue it to the front of the card. Like so. Now, we need to add in a couple more things. First of all, I need to put a greeting on the front. And I've decided on this one, we're cute together. So I've got a tub here. It's actually in similar coloured paper. I've got a tub here. It's an old Pringles container. And when we cut the cardstock for inside the cards, we're often left with 1 centimetre or 2 centimetre pieces. And so I keep them all hoarded away. That was a great tip I learnt from my friend Rebecca Hall. And I'm going to stamp in Lost Lagoon. And I'll get my stamp mat back again, because these are polymer stamps. They don't have much give in them. So you need to stamp onto a stamp mat. So we're stamping We're Cute Together. And I'll just put it about there. Pop that there to clean. And my quickest and easiest way to make this look a bit fancy is just to trim on an angle. And I'm going to use, again, some of the Pool Party and put some softness around the edge to blur the line between the white and the paper, white paper and the coloured paper. So we'll pop that aside. I'll leave that for a minute, and I'll put that on dimensionals there. So I know I want to cut a bit off. I want to cut about that much off. So we'll just I'll grab some more edge bits here. Grab about 4, okay? They should fit. We'll peel them as we go. And we'll just pop this in here. So that's the front. We can't have a blank inside. So I'm going to take the words, "You're utterly amazing," which I think goes quite well. If you're giving this one to someone you love, get the stamp mat back, Ellie. And then we better put some pretty picture in there. And I've chosen some fish. So there's this stamp here of the fish. Mine are going to be swimming the other direction. And I've made the pretty peacock, which is the same as the colour of the paper behind the fish on the front. And just to bring the weed in, they have this tiny, tiny little piece of weed here. So let's add, maybe we can do 1, 2, 3. Oh, there she goes, moves. So let's have a look what we've got. That's our card finished. I'll just make sure there's nothing on my fingers so I don't put a big print on it. So that's the inside. You're utterly amazing. And there's our outside, which is, I think, rather cute. And I think, you know, you could give this to your partner, being male or female. It's a rather cute little card. All right, I just wanted to show you those lovely otters. So let's go back to me, if we can. There we are. It's always exciting when it comes back where you want it. And you don't get so much of my messy desk at the back. And the camera's moving again today. It's one of those days. There we go. Oh, you've got to have some fun sometimes. Well, if you've enjoyed that and you're interested in the otters, let me know and I'll help you find them on the website of Stamping Up. Otherwise, have a really good week and I'll come back with something different again next week. I think we'll stick with some of these newer products and have a look at something else next week before we go back to getting into Christmas again in December. You have a good week and I will catch you all next week. Oh, quick hello to Renee and to Liz. Liz, if you've missed the start, you can always replay it and you'll see how I've brought it all together, this card. Or if you've got any questions, just send me a message or give me a call. Enjoy your week and I'll chat with you all next week. Bye-bye.